is up, nation? Welcome to the Light Bars and Lockers podcast, the podcast where we talk about. I forget what we talk about. We talk about.
Come on.
I always have to edit this part out because I forget it every single time. But we
Like
talk about
Jeeps and cool
Jeeps
stuff.
and cool stuff and
Meet cool
badass
people.
rigs and ways to beef up your ride and
Little political things, and we get
we
zonked on
into that a little
Facebook.
bit. That's right. I'm Paul with JeepBeef, and we've got Ryan with Combat Off-Road. And joining us tonight, we've got a special guest, Eric from DCS Lighting. And DCS Lighting, in case you haven't heard or unfamiliar, basically they are a company that makes lighting products for Jeeps that install on existing locations, making it super easy for you to get the lights installed, which, it's important. So, Eric, hey, thanks for joining us.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's great to be here.
All right, well, let's start with, hold on, we got a couple of people saying, what is up? Virago laughed. Rusty says Jeeps. I sold mine, bought a Prius.
I knew it.
It's got to happen.
Got to save the environment.
That's right. So Eric, tell us a 20,000 foot view. Tell us all about DCS Lighting.
Yeah, basically DCS Lighting is home of the no holes drilled kit. All of our Jeep kits go in existing holes of the frame and the body of the Jeep, so you don't have to drill or cut the vehicle up at all to get our lights installed. We're an American-based company. Everything's made and manufactured right here in the USA. Our product's backed by a full lifetime warranty. We don't care if they fail or you find a way to break it. We'll replace it. We actually enjoy the break stories way more than the fail stories, obviously. We're real wheelers from back in the day, and that's why we developed these lights, was to be used wheeling at night, and we want them to be one of the better products out there to get you through the woods safely.
Amazing.
I really like tell them about the my favorite one is Krista has them on the .jl, the hood mount ones.
The hood lights. So
they're super
we have
cool.
a series of a couple different products. Our base kit that we kind of started from actually was similar to the hood light. So we have a couple different versions of the hood lights, and those go right where the bumperettes are on the hood. The new JLs and the JTs have the plastic run. It's right where the windshield washer fluid comes out. So we replaced that plastic mount with anodized aluminum housing, LED. It's a low. It's basically the same brightness as like a low beam headlight. It's 1,400 lumens out of each spot. So it really throws a lot of light down the trail and super sleek and goes right in the existing location. So again, you don't have to modify the Jeep and looks factory. So it's very subtle. You don't have a big light bar on the top of your Jeep causing wind noise and anything like that. You can get a lot of light in a very small location.
So what do you do for the washer jets? Do they get replaced, or do you reuse the OEMs? Or
Yep, you reuse the OEMs. The plastic actually just kind of wraps around that, so our housing is built through that. So there's a rubber grommet or gasket, you would say, between the plastic piece and your hood. So you just reuse that. We give you a couple of stainless steel studs and nuts, so it bolts right from the underside of the hood, and a wiring harness to connect it together. So all you have to supply is a fused power source.
Okay, cool. So you want inline fuse to 12 volts to ground, and that's
it. Exactly. Yep.
Cool.
And our rock light kits come with an inline fuse right within the kit, so it's literally just a switched power source that you need.
Oh, okay, right on.
That's awesome.
And those are just bright white, right? They don't have.
The hood lights are bright white. We can add a backlit option, so if you wanted a just a light color glow while your rock lights are on or something like that, we do have that as an option as well, but not like a bright yellow to like shine down the trail or anything like that.
Oh, okay, cool. Yep. White's probably the best move anyways. But.
Yeah, definitely. Like, again, the product was designed to be a functional thing, not just something for, hanging out at the mall at the
dance music and shit.
Yeah. Nice social Jeep crowd. Not anything wrong with that. We go to those too.
Oh yeah, they're fun.
But our lights were really, that was the whole point. So our wire harness actually runs through the frame of the Jeep, so it's completely protected. You don't have to worry about it getting ripped or hung up on rocks and sticks or anything like that. We use all waterproof connectors just at every light, so it makes it easy to swap out. If you do have a damage, you don't have to, try to rewire or splice or crimp or anything like that. Everything is a real plug and play, simple tools. Really, I think outside of a screwdriver, there's not much that you need to install in one of our kits.
That's amazing. I think a lot of people, especially when it comes to, electrical,
they get pretty scared. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Which is, I mean, it's relatively straightforward. I
mean,
well,
we hear so many, stories of people burning down their Jeeps and seeing them on fire on the side of the road. So obviously everybody's afraid of that happening. We got a lot of, time, money, and resources invested in these things. So, but that's the last thing we want to worry about is buying a product that, could damage our Jeep.
For sure, right? Yeah. Matt says, yo, what's up?
What's up, Matt?
Virago says, sweet. And then Todd and Christy, she said, so she's what'd she say? I need white ones for sure on my bucket list. So she's gonna go and have to look at these now. So there you go.
Yeah, you can find us on Instagram, Facebook, on our website, dcslighting.com. We have white and 8 other colors to choose from. The LEDs are all true color LEDs. We don't do any of that RGB stuff. We wanted really bright lights that show light out and around. And that's another thing that's a benefit of our kit compared to everybody else's. They go in the frame shining outwards. So you're actually throwing light beside you and away from the Jeep so that you can see around the Jeep while you're out in the woods. It's not just a couple lights designed to throw some light down on your tires. We also have lights that go through the center of the Jeep. So completely underneath the Jeep is illuminated. So if you're going over rocks, any debris, you can see that, or your spotter can see that, tell you where you're hung up. And when we really spent a lot of time on every single kit trying to, minimize shadows. The whole goal is to give functioning light, and Jeep keeps coming out with all these new models and keep making us come out with new kits because every time they switch to a diesel, these 4xEs, they make everything underneath a little different. The frame holes are different and there's different components in the way. So,
amazing.
It's kind of amazing how much has changed, since we started making these kits, 8-9 years ago.
That's amazing. Yeah, that's super important, right? Like, you could make lights for the sake of making lights, throw them up on your Jeep, but to care about how they perform in the environment that they're built to perform in, and it makes a big difference, right? So you can go to Amazon and buy a shit light, but
yeah, absolutely. There's all sorts of lights out there to choose from.
I love the Happy Day You light. They're the best.
Yeah.
I get those emails all the time.
Dude. Hi, dear, love you.
Yes, right. Hey, dear, please. we have new light.
We saw you many days. Yes, and I love Fruit Loops and cantaloupes. Can I be your friend? So good.
Sell my product.
Yeah, make long time money.
We're definitely getting shut down now.
Oh, dude, but it's fun. They know it. I got lots of I got tons of Chinese friends. They love it. And then anytime we get in a little bit of banter and we're confused, I just throw a couple of sweet emojis and they're back right on track. They love emojis.
They'll just never make it on TikTok with all this Chinese talk. You'll be fine otherwise.
Yeah,
right? Exactly. So Christy said she just followed y'all on Instagram. She has red ones but needs white ones for night wheeling. So there you go.
Yeah, perfect.
I think this is someone says Eric. I imagine that's Krista.
That's perhaps. An SNF. That's they talk about. That's SNFU has a song with Eric's Had a Bad Day. And probably not too many people know that song,
but Rusty says the Dragon Lady calls him every week. And Doyle wants to know, what about rock light kits?
Yeah, we have kits for everything from the TJs and LJs through JKs, JLs, JTs. The TJ, LJ, and the JK kits have 9 lights per kit, so you have 3 down each frame rail and 3 through the center in the JKs. The TJ and LJ actually uses mostly body holes. We have another frame kit called the Side Shooter series for the TJs. And then the JLs and the JTs actually have a couple more lights, so they have 11. They have 4 lights that shine outward from each frame rail, as well as 3 down through the center, 1 in the front, 1 in the middle, and 1 in the back. And I noticed Christy was mentioning she has red and she wants whites. That's another one of the great features of our kits, is that each light is just on a short pigtail, and the harness again is in through the frame. So if you want to switch out between your mall events and your wheeling events from red to white, we have multiple customers that do that, where they have a couple different colors for the different holes, and they can just swap them out as they needed.
Yeah, that's cool for sure.
Sick. That's awesome.
Because they run all the same amperage, right? So it wouldn't even make
sense. Exactly. It's all the same amperage, all the same wattage, all the same LED disc per light. So it doesn't matter. And our kits are expandable. We can add on to them if you want to add some more somewhere, if you have certain details. We have, customers that have custom hoods that have vents in them and they want to light that up, or maybe their front fenders have a panel that has a screen mesh spot that they want to illuminate. Done a lot of work with different inner fenders that have, again, different displays people want to light up. So, you know, there's many options. We offer universal products too. So we got a couple of different ones of those. So if you just have, you know, a non-Jeep and you want to light it up with ours, we've done trucks, we've done older Jeeps. There's really no end to it.
So what do you get into with like diameters of holes at that point? Like, you know, the Jeep diameter and you have specific kits, but how does that work for the universal kit?
So the universal, we basically have 3 different products. One being our magnet mount.
Okay.
It's our actual LED disc that puts out the light is all the same in all of our lights. It's just the housings that hold them in place per se. Right. So every single light that we sell, as far as our rock lights, produce the same amount of brightness. So we have our magnet mount. We have your typical bolt mount where the wire comes right out of the back of the stud. So if you have any hole that's big enough, you can just drop it in and use a nut on the backside to hold it in place. And then we have a surface mount light that has 2 holes on the side of the light that we give you a couple stainless steel self tappers so that you can, you know, screw it to basically any surface you have, plastic, fiberglass, metal, doesn't matter.
Okay.
And all the universal products come with 10 feet of wire. So you have more than enough to connect a few of them together and make your own kit and make it work. They're non-polarity driven LEDs. So even if for some reason you connected the red to the black and the black to the red, wouldn't matter. They're still going to come up, unlike your cheap Amazon lights.
What are you saying about the high-U daylight? What's wrong?
I'm going to say they help me sell a lot of lights because as soon as
that's right.
Makes it easy to look better, right?
Exactly.
Nice. And so, yeah, Linda's here. She says she's here for Eric.
Nice.
Fuck yeah, Linda.
Yeah, Linda.
Is that like real Linda?
Doyle wants to know how many rock lights in the JK kit.
The JK kit has 9 lights in the rock lights, and we also have our grill light kit that you can add into the rock light kit, which has 3 lights to illuminate up into the radiator, and that's you know, a huge add-on that people usually end up buying, especially once they see it. So I'd say, you know, to get the best illumination, you'd be looking at, you know, 13 lights total, or 12. I can't do math today.
Yeah, well, yeah, whatever. I didn't even notice, so it's all.
So watch the whole show for the 50% off code with Jared's.
There you go. That's right. Rusty says he thinks it's strange a lot of companies are missing out on the FSJ market. It's become a big thing again, and it's cool.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
How do you know, Rusty?
Yeah.
Tell us more.
Toyota guys, and you know, we've considered making kits for other stuff. You know, the problem is now just, you know, market research and try to see what type of you know, input we could really get. And if the other thing is with our lights, to make sure that the frame has the appropriate size holes. And you know, we're just Jeep guys, that's what we have, so we started building them for that. And it just seems that their frames work very well. That FJ Cruiser, I'm pretty sure, is more of a unibody, which doesn't really have a frame, and it makes it a little bit more difficult for our kits to work properly. But we do have a couple out there with our universal products, and they do look great.
Yeah, what about like the tacos and stuff? Just because like those guys are heavy overlanders, they might find some real use out of those lights, like moving forward, obviously. But we, like in the Off-Road Addiction, like the retail stores, we do a shit ton of overlanding builds, and I'm sure that, you know, I know we do a lot of tacos and stuff for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And we got a few out there, like I said, and the overland is huge. We're working with a couple of companies right now actually to put our lights in like awnings and different things like that are available to the overland scene. We definitely illuminated a bunch of campers and things like that. So it can all be, you know, used however people want. So there's, you know, if we get someone that wants to leave us a Toyota for long enough, and we can try to see if we can make a kit out of their frame, that's probably something we'd look at.
Yeah.
You know, it's also available. So it took us a long time to get a TJ kit, and I own a TJ.
Oh, dude, I know the pain of bringing products to market, man. It's fucking awesome.
That's it. You know, with the way things been the last few years, and just trying to keep up with the orders, and we're growing more and more every year. So we think we have enough materials, and we're trying to order more than what we expect, and we're still making sales. And so then try to get a whole other line of stuff, it's tricky enough just keeping up with the Jeep things right now.
Yeah, man. I know what you mean.
Fair enough.
Paul, what are you giggling over there about? You're just giggling.
Oh, I'm just watching the comments. So Rusty was talking about full-size Jeeps. I like Wagoneer, Jeep.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, that's the thing.
And it was just funny because he's like, oh boy, I'm getting mad now. I'm just going to sit here and drink my beer.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to try to keep up with as many models as we can. Again, it's just a matter of which vehicles we have available to us, to mock up.
Yeah, fair enough, right? That makes, yeah. He's like Toyota blah. Yeah, exactly.
Like I said,
he said FJs, but I know what he meant. Yeah, full size Jeeps. But I mean, that's a tough one. There's not that many.
Yeah, and it's also a matter of like who goes to shows, who's always customizing their vehicles. It's
you got to go where the market is,
right? JK sort of replaced the TJ like for the longest time, right?
Oh, totally, dude. Right? Yeah, JK is now the affordable kind of move, right? Yeah, and there's still lots of people that still put big money into them.
Yeah,
or cut the shit out of them. You know what I mean? Like they're cheap enough now and expensive enough now at the same time. So the expensive ones people are gonna love and take care of and wax every fucking Sunday. And then there's the other ones that people are like, I can buy this and cut it up and stretch it and fuck around. Like the JK is all of the market, and then you get a certain amount of people that will beat the shit and cut up a JT and a JL, right? And then you're back to most of those are new people. And then most of the people new are buying new, right? Like, so you're introducing them into the Jeep market, right? So it's interesting how all that plays along, right? But I mean, I love all this stuff, but like from a business standpoint, for both of us that way in companies, you got to go where the masses are, man, or you're just not gonna win. It's just what it is, man. Like, I mean, I don't care. Like, I love Jeep stuff and this, that, and the other, but I got fucking Corvette. I got, I got a Honda Grom. Like, I don't care. Like, I like lots of stuff that doesn't align with what I do. You know what I mean? It's just fun. But I mean, I ain't gonna build fucking Honda Grom taillights. You know what I mean? It just ain't gonna happen.
There's a market for that too, man. Those guys go crazy. We got a little big group over here too, so everybody's customizing theirs, making it a little different.
It's true. That is pretty.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna do it.
Growing.
Yeah.
No, but there's those drives everywhere too. Because even after the last Jeep show, or not the last, but when we were in Daytona, we walked by a Volkswagen show that we came across like the day after Daytona. It was cool to see, another group of enthusiasts and what they do and kind of how it's different but the same. So there's stuff out there.
It's all good. It's lots of fun. I'm glad. I hope automotive stays strong. I'm worried about all these, fucking like armchair cowboys, man, that just sit there and play video games and shit. We need people to get out in the real world. It's tough because they're making it so hard for people to actually afford to grab something. You can't buy a $500 or $2,000 Jeep, or fuck, you can't even buy a $5,000 Jeep that's worth buying, right?
Yeah, 5,000 is like bare bones. Like you said, that's something you're gonna buy and cut up and spend another 15, 20 grand on anyways.
Right. So it's tough for like a 16-year-old kid, or I don't know, maybe 16 to 20 at this point, like just the way everything is, right? Like it really sucks, right? But
yeah, I think it's it's gonna drop though soon.
Oh yeah, I mean, I hope so. Like, I hope it just, I don't know. Everything seems to find its course some way along. Like, it's got to cut out.
That's the thing. You have to kind of like bring it back in a little bit, right? Like, it is a little out of control right now. So, got to bring it back in.
I got to sell my used cars before it goes crazy.
Right? That's the thing. Like, that's exactly it. Like, do it while you can.
Dude, I just bought a really expensive 72 C10. I really got to sell it before the market drops.
Right? It's a sweet, like,
yeah.
That's the one you sent me, right?
Yeah. I guess I showed you, right, Eric? Did I show you?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. I haven't seen it either. All the photos you guys saw are the photos I've seen. So I don't know. It's supposed to land at our the big shop, hopefully tomorrow or Monday.
Nice.
But, yeah.
So you're in New England, you mentioned, but DCS is in Florida, correct?
Yeah, correct. They're manufacturing our warehouse and everything's all.
His drive to work is murder.
Especially in the TJ.
24-hour commute. Yeah.
What I don't think we discussed it, but what's your position? Like, what do you do at DCS?
So I'm, I guess, the Northeast representative of the company.
Okay, all right.
Kind of been with the company since the beginning. I went to high school with the owner, so I was literally basically one of his first test rats. He started making these lights that bolted defenders, and he did these hood lights with kind of his first product. And we used to meet up on Thursday nights in the local mall for little Jeep meetups. We'd sit there for a half hour and be bored and be like, let's go wheeling. So that's what we did. So he started making these lights and we started testing them. And then within the next year or so, he kind of started a little business out of it. And I've been doing shows with him and been part of the company ever since. And we've started up here in New England.
Oh, is that right? Okay.
Yeah, we started here, and he had some roots down in Florida, and he had some things, some reasons. So he took off, moved back down that way, and you know, we've been growing pretty steadily since.
Sweet, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, no, it's fun to hear, right? It's cool to take an idea from something to, you know, from nothing to something, and then keep developing it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I always think that's cool because that's all I ever did.
Yeah, definitely. It's pretty neat to see the changes we've done throughout the years. Like I was telling you guys earlier, just down at Bantam, I was hanging out with a good friend of mine in the Jeep industry, and she's had our lights for a long time. And I was looking at her kit because I thought it didn't look quite right, and I realized it was like 3 revisions old. You know, she bought a kit when we only had 7 lights on the JK. Now we have 9, and that was part of, you know, the research. You know, we wanted it to be a better product, and we added some lights, and we've changed some of the mounts over the years to better improve our product. And that was part of the, you know, the warranty, like I mentioned, is a lifetime warranty. It used to only be a 5-year warranty. But we've realized over the last, you know, 6-7 years that for the most part, we're not really having lights fail, except for there's been a couple like where we could improve things. So we just improve them and release it to our customers and take care of them. And we don't really have any customers that are angry with us. And it just seems a lot easier that way, and a lot easier to sell the lights because there's not the same shows over and over again. That all I have is customers coming back to me. Hey, I bought your lights last year. I brought my buddy to buy them this year. You guys are great. And, you know, like, that's what we like to hear. So it was just this year that we did switch it from the 5-year to a lifetime warranty.
Well, the risk reversal is good, right? Because like you said, if something goes wrong and it's weird, you kind of want to know about it. And if nothing's really going all that wrong because you're confident in the product, you might as well just go lifetime. Like, why not?
That's exactly it. Once we start seeing the, you know, a repeat problem, we figure out a solution, we make it better, and we take care of it.
Yeah, totally. That's good, man. Oh, for sure.
Sorry, I have to mute while I, you know.
Paul, you're drunk off that fucking medicine.
That's it. It's pretty tasty. I could grab another one though. That's for sure. Yeah. So what? Where are? I assume you all do the whole show circuit. You mentioned Bantam and Florida. I think you mentioned Florida. You were in Florida.
Yeah, we did JeepBeef, Daytona, obviously.
Oh, awesome. So what for the rest of the year? What's on the schedule?
For the rest of the year, I know we're doing Jersey Jeep Invasion coming up next month in July. I think that's like the 15th, 16th down at Wildwood. So that'll be a good time. We'll be there set up with a display. We're also going to be down in Pigeon Forge in August for the Jeep.
Great Smoky Mountain Jeep Invasion.
That's the one.
Yeah, we'll be there too. Yeah,
we'll be there with one of our vendors because we also sell to shops that install our lights and stuff. So we're going to be with a tent with one of our vendors there for that show. Then we'll be at Myrtle Beach, and that's the Halloween weekend in October.
Oh yeah. So have you been to that one before?
Yeah, we've been there a couple times now the last 2 years. It's been a good show.
Yeah.
The people there are great. It's a nice, you know, it's kind of a smaller location, but they do a really good job putting on the show. And then there's a lot of stuff going around, so definitely worth checking out.
Oh, that's cool. I gotta go we go to SEMA, and we gotta leave early because we gotta drive from here all the way across the country. So
yeah,
we're usually SEMA or gone a month by the time you leave and come back.
Yeah.
That's a big one. Well, I stayed in Florida for a month.
Yeah, you were down there for a while.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. It was so weird to be like sweaty every day for a month like that, you know, in that time of year.
You're from the Great North. Did you start to see what that snowbird life was all about? People
dude,
down there for like half the year.
I love it, right? I love it. The only tough thing for me was just, my family wasn't with me. That was just the crappiest part. But Krista was good. She helped me out quite a bit, and you know, had a good company, so it was fun. But definitely missed the family. But what's that?
Never a dull moment with her.
No, she's good. Yeah, she's pretty funny. So she can't cook, so that's a good thing. So I just had to cook dinner for her a whole bunch of times. But she like the week before I came, she's like, I've never fried chicken before, and it was so weird. It was like, you know, the chicken was going insane, kind of. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? You never even fried chicken in a pan, you know? Like, I don't know. She's fun.
Yeah, her cooking ends with like making tuna salad for dip, and that's about it.
Oh, dude, I saw some is pretty.
Yeah, you just keep the pickle juice out of it.
Oh, love it.
Yeah, pretty.
So I'm actually on your website just surfing right now. The it's some pretty good products there. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I like the hood ones. That's the only one
I was just gonna say
really
the hood
had a
ones,
good look at.
Yeah, are actually I'm a fan of those ones as well.
Yeah, they're super bright and super discreet. You know, that it's just a lot of light out of a small package. And we've pushed them to the max. We actually have the LEDs detuned just a little bit, and they're not performing to their max power, so that they don't burn out within the housing that we've created.
Okay.
On them, really designed to cool it down. And nobody pushes these products harder than we do, having them on all day at Jeep shows, sitting there baking in the sun, when they're really designed to be on your hood while you're moving, driving, going down a trail.
Right. In the dark, probably, with no UV load. Yeah.
Exactly. So, we've definitely pushed them and tested them, and so everybody's happy with those. That's a unique product, to say the least.
Well, I bought them from last year. My friend wanted some. She asked me to pick them up, and I knew I was meeting Krista to come on our podcast because Paul's down at Smoky Mountain, so I figured I'd kill two birds with one stone. She loves those lights. Like, she put them in, and she was super excited because it was an easy install, like you said, and she liked how they worked and all the fit up. So that's cool too, right? Like, I personally haven't used them, but I mean, she said it was good, so that's good.
Yep. Yeah. If she doesn't like it, you'll definitely hear about it.
Yeah, I would have heard about it for sure. At least she paid me first, just in case.
There you
go. Is that Carmen?
What? I can't see any of that stuff.
No, that you were talking about.
No. It was Alessia with the 1-ton.
Oh, yeah. Okay, right on.
Yeah, her Jeep's pretty built up.
Yeah, her Jeep's pretty awesome. I haven't seen her in a while.
She moved to like East Coast.
Okay. Well, I just meant like
she's like near him
on social media.
Except north, but way north.
Yeah.
North and east, still a little more east. But yeah, she's got 1-tons of eyes, like all kinds.
Yeah, she's got a sweet rig. Like she's pretty cool.
Supercharged.
She's bought everything that we sell. Everything. Like, she's amazing.
Yeah.
Like,
she's good.
Yeah. First, like, we
she
bring
did
out
a bunch of our photos too. Like, just like did a bunch of our product shoots and some of our newer stuff too.
Yeah, she's amazing.
Yeah.
And she welds or something. Isn't that what she does? Is that her?
She did some welding, I think, for a little bit. I know she.
But isn't that her job? Isn't she?
I don't know what she does now. She's changed it. One of my other friends, she did like a women's welding course, and my other friend was teaching it.
Oh, is that right?
Funny. Yeah. It's pretty funny.
Linda says. Yeah, Linda says if you know what I'm saying. If Linda says it, it must be true.
Right. Linda never lies.
Linda is watching. She sees all.
Epic.
Amazing. Cool. So, and now I may be wrong about this, but and this is sort of a bit of a tangent, but your wife does photography, right?
Yeah, she's a photographer.
Okay, so I was gonna say, because I think
yeah, you met her. She's the one that took the photos of us.
Yeah. Okay, that's right. I just sort of put two and two together earlier when you mentioned you were in New England. So
yeah,
your weather's not all that dissimilar to ours. So yeah, it's beautiful.
Yours probably colder or like crappier.
I think it's just a little bit like a little cooler in the summer and a little warmer in the winter, right? I don't know. We're on the marketing side. We're I don't know if you're familiar with HubSpot, but there's a lot of companies we work with in Boston. So I'm in New England quite a bit. So I love it there. It's very similar to here. Like it's like you don't even leave. Whereas there's some places in the US you go to and you're just like, hey, this is like a totally different world. Like totally different. Massachusetts, pretty much the same.
Yep.
My cousin plays for the Patriots.
What's that?
Oh, my cousin plays for the Patriots.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Brian Hoyer.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So he's my cousin. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like a half hour north of Foxborough. I'm like right up.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
Right from Foxborough.
Huh.
That's pretty awesome. And again, total sidebar, but I've been listening to this podcast for like the last couple of years, and it's a what do you call it? Like a true crime, like murder podcast. As a matter of fact, I'm sure Krista would love it. She should probably listen to it. Who knows? But it's just all about like tragic murders and what have you. But they do it out of New England, and so they're always, whenever the story has to do with like areas near there, they talk about it a lot. And there's a lot of fucking like fucked up shit happens around you guys. Like some crazy stuff, man.
We're talking like the supposed smiley face killer or whatever. There's someone.
Yeah, one of them. Yeah, absolutely. Yes. Yeah.
He's like, it's Eric's neighbor, for fuck's sake.
No, so listen, I'm not gonna say that it happened, but if you followed that, so they kind of target like bearded guys, mid-20s, usually at like sporting events or something like that, and they just kind of disappear, slide off the side.
Yeah.
A few years back, I went to a Boston Bruins game. They were playing the Pittsburgh Penguins. I have a friend from Connecticut who, for whatever reason, is a big fan of the Penguins. We went, and I don't drink that much anymore, but I used to drink quite heavily. So, I was known to be able to hold my liquor. And going into the second period, I just started getting sick and like dizzy, fuzzy. I couldn't walk.
Really?
My buddy had to like help carry me out of the arena. I didn't remember any of it. He dragged me home, and like I felt not right for the next couple of days. And then like everybody I started telling the story to, they're like, "Oh, you were probably going to be one of the next victims."
Dude, right? Yeah, because that was the MO, right? Like,
you're gonna be that scene in Pulp Fiction.
Exactly.
You're ready for the Red Ball, bitch.
Wow, that's insane. Yeah, lots of crazy shit happens around there, man. It's pretty. There was like some other guy who like, I don't even know, it was like 8 or 10 women, like his girlfriends, that he just basically took and like murdered them all and then buried them all together in like some weird sort of like
dude,
it was
you just
the
never
way that
know
he did it.
Yeah,
but
so strange.
For years and years, and he got away with it, and it just happened to be that the cops just decided to, like, on a hunch, check out like his favorite place that he was completely open about, and found all of them buried like sequentially in the. Yeah, it's insane. Jesus. So yeah, but on that note, do you still you follow hockey? You still
yeah. Hockey's really the only sport I kind of pay attention to.
Yeah, Bruins.
Yeah, I'm a pretty decent Bruins fan. I try to follow most of the games.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we pretty much hate Bruins people around here. Every year they take out the Leafs in the first round of the playoffs. Every
we're to win a playoff game or something, it's not our fault.
Right. Hey, we were up like what 8-0, and you still beat us in the third period. Okay, it was
just recently.
Pretty embarrassing. That was years ago.
It's like over and over again.
Oh my god, I don't remember any of that.
But there was it's like we're one game, we're gonna make it. Like we're up, whatever it was, 5-0, 6-1.
Yeah, you're up. It was game 7 or whatever.
Yeah, it was game 7, and then
how do you guys remember this garbage? How do you guys remember this shit?
Because when your heart breaks,
I can't remember like important.
You don't forget.
Jesus, you guys are nuts.
Brutal. We had the worst coach in history.
Well, at least you got a coach. Right now, we ain't even have one.
That's true, right?
Oh, really? Oh,
they fired the coach the other day. Everybody was shocked. I mean, the guy's made the playoffs every year since he's been here. He's gone further than what was expected from the beginning of the season. But I don't know.
You got to blame someone, right? It's like
you got to blame someone, yeah, sure. And like I watch all the games and stuff, but I don't go in depth and like
you don't have stats analysis and stuff.
No, I'm not that. I just watching the games and then talking shit about that.
Right? Yeah. See, I'm with you on that. Like I enjoy it and stuff, but I don't. Beyond that, I don't get into like stats and all that kind of shit. But the fact that Zdeno Chara still plays is insane. Like insane. The guy's like 7 feet tall to start with, and he's been playing for like 25 years or something.
Yeah, he's approaching 50, and he's still got one of the hardest slap shots in the heart.
Right. Well, the fact that he can like
all the momentum, man.
Skate around,
wind up.
Yeah.
Wait a second, you play hockey. What? How do you not know any of this stuff?
I play hockey, but I don't watch hockey. I never watched as high level as I ever got. And then that was it. And then I didn't pay attention.
Like the junior Bs?
I played junior A.
Did you?
I played NCAA hockey too.
Hey.
And I played Rochester, New York.
Did you really?
Yeah, RTI, Rochester Institute for Technology.
Nice.
For like not for long. I played Conestoga like here. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I played whatever. I didn't.
So you watch the college games to watch? Is that what?
I just played a game. I don't know. I never really went and watched too many hockey games or anything. I don't know. Yeah. I didn't really care.
I'm the opposite. I was never a fan. Never played because the city I grew up in is like the hockey capital of the world. It's ridiculous. And everybody's going to be the next NHL player, right? Like it's just the way every single kid plays hockey and is like, it's insane. Like then when you go to have kids, your kid's going to be in the NHL. Like, it's just the craziest thing. So I hate it, like absolutely hate it. Hated all the players, whatever. I used to, the guy I lived with was the general manager of the OHL team in town, because that's what there was. And so we would just like drink and shit with all the guys. And it was great in that respect, but I never watched a game, couldn't care less, whatever. But then when I left and started watching it, I actually started watching when the Leafs made it to the second round of the playoffs.
You're like, oh, this is fun.
And I was like, yeah, it is good. And I've been waiting since then, which is like a million years ago, for them to make it further than the second round. They haven't even made it past the first round since.
That's hilarious, man.
I feel your pain though, and like I got into hockey when I was younger. And when I actually was born, I grew up when I was younger up in northern Vermont, literally right up on the Canadian border. So we were about 2.5 hours from Boston, but we're also about 2.5 hours from Montreal.
Montreal, right? Yeah.
Half of my family were Montreal Canadian fans, and the other half were Boston Bruin fans.
That's hilarious.
Cusp of you could like either. It made just as much sense at that point. And this is way back late 80s.
And they see you put the jersey on, they're like, how could you?
Yeah, exactly. So like it was a rivalry right within the family between aunts and uncles and cousins and brothers and sisters and all that.
Huge fist fights at Thanksgiving and shit.
Yeah, that's the way it should be, family tradition.
Right. Exactly.
But again, I grew up all 80s, 90s watching the Bruins get blown out by the Canadians all the time. It wasn't
that's not the case anymore.
Yeah, no, we're doing a little better now, but it's taking a lot. I mean, Canadian still, the overall record is like untouchable, but it's hard with the original 6 and a dominant team amongst 6 teams for as long as they were.
Yeah, for like 30 years, right? Like,
that's probably discounted, but whatever. I'll leave that aside.
Yeah, right on. Fair enough.
Remember when we used to talk about Jeep parts?
I was gonna say maybe going back to the whole Jeep thing, but
the same thing happens in like a couple of my like wheeling groups we have, and then like a couple of us are hockey fans, one's a Ranger, so we get sidetracked quick and like, wait a minute, I thought this was a wheeling group. Something off the list. But
right.
That's funny.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm also involved in a bunch of wheeling stuff up here in New England. As far as that goes,
what's the trails like? What's the terrain like up there? Is it like rocks, mud, trail, kind of forestry kind of stuff?
Yeah, it's all that, and it's tight. It's the biggest thing that people forget. Like there's all the trails here are real tight. There's not a lot of stuff that's open to the public. Most of the people that wheel up in New England are involved in a club that's part of the NEA organization. And that's an organization that has 30 legal nonprofit entities that are all off-roading clubs. And we share properties for everybody to wheel on. So we wheel on private properties that people own. We own a chunk of land here in Massachusetts ourselves, 88 acres. That's exclusively trails for wheeling. And we have a land fund where we're saving up more money to buy more property to keep wheeling. We work
That's awesome.
Try to, keep whatever's available to us through the state open. So yesterday I was in Vermont on a class 4 road, which is an unmaintained road that's open to vehicle traffic kind of at your own risk. Obviously the town doesn't maintain it. And in this area, there's been a lot of traffic over the last few years with Facebook groups and just large groups of Jeeps going up and enjoying the woods, which is nice, but sometimes it gets a little bit much and the terrain can't handle it. And there's a bridge that got wore out and damaged to the point that it had to be shut down. And there's been a couple organizations up there, Tread Lightly and Quadratech 50 for 50 was up there to rebuild the bridge. So they were looking for some volunteers. So I took the opportunity to run up and help and get the bridge built so the road can get open, so the trail can be open for people to use for years to come. And it was nice because even the neighbors down the road came up and said, if we need a bathroom or anything, their house was open to us. They were super happy.
That's pretty cool
place. So it's good to see, and it's good to have an impact on that type of stuff.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. Did you do the classic Arnold line when you saw the bridge? The bridge is out.
Bridge is out.
Come on. Come here, take my hand.
You definitely should have got that on video. You're going to have to be there for that.
Eric, build the bridge. Come on. I love that guy. Side note, love Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Who doesn't?
Stupid people.
I guess California. I don't know. Awesome. So you mentioned, what was the name of the group in
New England? It's
yeah.
NEA 4x4, it's the Northeast Association of 4x4 vehicles. Again, we're an organization that has about 34 different clubs that are all combined with the same interest of expanding legal wheeling within our area by any means necessary. And that involves working with the state for your expanded public use, as well as working with private landowners. Like I said, we have about a dozen different properties that we have access to that's available to any club member. They just go on the forum and say, hey, I want to wheel this property on this date. Here's how many people are going to be there. And they have the right to go there and enjoy the property. And we give back to the property owners whatever they need. There's some that, they burn wood through the winter and they get, 5, 6, 7 cords of wood delivered. And they're like, hey, would you guys mind stacking the wood for me? And we're like, not a problem at all. We'll get a bunch of people there, make a quick, morning of it, stack it, have some pizza, and then go wheeling for the afternoon. So
that's
it's
awesome.
That's pretty cool.
It's a great organization, and we do a lot of good. And fortunately, in this area, it's really the only way to get a good impact on legal wheeling. There's just not much available to the everyday wheeler that buys a Jeep, a Bronco, a Toyota, whatever they have, and they're like, I want to go see what's available. There's not a lot there. And unfortunately, in this area, there's been enough, the party scene kids that have kind of given us a bad name, and people think that we're just out there destroying things. And in the most part, that's not the case. Most of us are pretty responsible, and we respect nature. And it's, we follow the tread lightly principles, and we're just out there to enjoy, what we enjoy doing. And we should have a right to it, just like they do out west with hundreds and thousands of acres available to the public.
Yeah, totally, man.
Sure.
So where's the closest state you got to go to have a little more free reign?
I mean, from here, the closest, Roush Creek is like the closest off-road park where you pay and go wheeling. Got some real stuff like that. Outside of that, you got to get down to like West Virginia, where there's just a bunch of acres of open land. New Hampshire's stepping up their game. We do have a piece of property within a state park there, way up in Berlin, New Hampshire, called Jericho State Park. And that the side-by-side and the ATVs have a lot of access to a bunch of hundreds and thousands of acres up there. And with the help of one of the NEA clubs in that area, they've opened up a section exclusively for four-wheel drive vehicles, full-size vehicles, to go enjoy for the day. So you can go up to the state park, you pay $20, they let you in the gate, and they have a bunch of trails up there, and they're expanding on it constantly to improve it. And that's been the first real big move forward with any of the states wanting to cooperate and give us some land back that should be available to full-size 4x4s, considering how much the smaller 4x4s have access.
That's wild. How they have that distinction.
Yeah, it's pretty different. They pretty much put like a CC limit on it and a weight size. So like if it's over this weight, then it's not considered a side-by-side anymore technically. And then because people start getting into that type of argument once you start people building buggies and things that weigh barely more than a side-by-side. And a small Suzuki motor in one of those that's not much bigger than the side-by-side. So they're trying to do that. And like the Roxers, those things that the little Jeep mimic rigs.
Mahindra thing.
Those because they're bigger than a side-by-side but smaller than a Jeep.
Yes. Yeah, they're pretty badass actually.
Yeah, they're neat little rigs for sure. They have a huge purpose, but it was so do those get allowed on the ATV trails, or are they too big?
Right.
And that's a matter of safety within trails and how wide they are to let two pass at whatever speed. And there's a lot to it, I guess.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense for sure. Amazing. Well, Eric, tell everyone, where can they find you on the interwebs?
You can find me on Instagram at DCS_Eric. Any of the Jeep shows, I'll be at most of them up and down the East Coast. And, if there's good Jeep shows in the Midwest out to the West Coast, we're looking to expand and start, hitting some different audiences and finding new shows to go see. So definitely, if you think that you got a show worthy of us to come to, shoot me a message. Let me know where. We'll try to get out there and check you guys out.
Then shoot me a message.
That's right, because Combat has to be there too.
Yeah, man, I gotta get out to more shows.
Yeah, that's all about.
And the best place for people if they're interested in checking out the lights?
DCSlighting.com, and obviously on Instagram and Facebook you can find us under DCS Lighting.
I love it. Okay,
cool.
Amazing. Well, hey, Eric, man, I really appreciate you being here. I think last minute we had a little behind the scenes internet outage, so apologies for that. But again, thanks for being flexible and for joining us. It was a lot of fun. Like I said, I've been surfing the website myself, just sitting here. So,
nice. Yeah, man. Sure. Thanks for coming. I'll see you in a few weeks.
Yeah, definitely. I'll see you in a couple, Ryan.
Yeah. All right, cool. All right. Well, with that said, anyone who made it to the end, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Right.
As always, you can catch us live on Thursday nights around 8:30 on
to
Facebook.
9 to 9:15. Then another hour.
Around there. Ish.
We're always exactly late.
Exactly. Yeah.
Willing way. So we're all that
100%.
way.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. See, there you go. Yeah. Or obviously hit us on all the audio.
Yeah, and you can listen to that anytime you want. You can be as on time as you want with the recorded version. So
that's right. Anytime you feel like it, you just fire this bad boy up. We're on the YT thing that I can't say because Zuckerberg likes to. So you can find us there too. Although honestly, we're much better to listen to. So with that said, Eric, thanks again for being here. Everyone, thanks for watching. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Catch you around. See you next week.
Yeah.
Later.